Hello guys, here is Karuna, happy to see you again on my Duduk channel. In this video we'll talk about something quite profound and essential to the Duduk theory, and it looks quite innocent, the question that I'm receiving sometimes from you. And the question is like, let's say you liked some Duduk composition and you are wondering what key is it played in and what key of the Duduk is it played on. It looks quite easy for me to recognize when I listen to that melody and when I use my knowledge. But the thing is that there's quite a lot of knowledge is required for you to do it by yourself. So if you are a complete beginner and you are just wondering, maybe you already have the key of A, or maybe you don't have even that classic key of A, and you just want to start your Duduk journey. You liked some composition, maybe it was Johann Gasparian or somebody else, like something famous, and you are enjoying it, and you are thinking, okay, I can start my Duduk journey with by learning this composition. You researched a little bit, surfed on the internet, and you found out, okay, there are a number of Duduk keys. There are scales, and like these scales could be played from different key note, and okay, what is it all about? How should I start my journey with? Suppose you already have the key of A. You want to recognize what is that very key of the Duduk, which is being played in that composition that you like. What are your next steps to take? Of course, it's nice to have the full range of the Duduk keys, or like not the full range, but some of them, like the most used ones. But maybe you are one of those ones for whom it wasn't even not easy to buy only one Duduk, like made by a good maker. Maybe it took you some time to save money even for that. And what is the way out, and how can you play this composition? Is it possible to play the same composition on the Duduk in A, or if you don't have any Duduk, should you really buy that very key of the Duduk which is used in that composition, if suppose it's not like a classic key? So I will try to explain you my point of view on this, how you can proceed, how you can play the composition, should you buy another key. What you could do is just to play that composition in some media player, listen to it. If you already have the key of A, you can tune the current reed you have to the A on 6 notes. Like if it's a little bit out of tune, maybe it's like too much, too sharp your reed, you need just to roll something around here, some threads or some piece of paper, and just make sure that you are on the note of A here on 6 fingers. And like this we will just check this composition. We will play some of the notes on the Duduk of A, and we will see if the notes kind of match with that composition or not. It's quite an easy way, quite a logical way. Like that you can see if the Duduk is really like some of the notes are here in that composition, or it's just completely out of tune, like it's another key of Duduk. This you can hear. Just opening full notes, not like half notes, but full notes. And if we are like 80-90% the notes are here, that means this is the Duduk in A. And using such a tuner with a pointer, and yeah, that must be a tuner with microphone. Just Google online tuner with microphone. So showing A, 5 fingers, showing B. If you like particularly that online tuner I've just shown you, it is called theonlinemetronome.com. Duduk in A, we are checking. Immediately I come onto the note of A. major, and immediately I came onto the keynote of it on the drone. So that was too easy. Let's take another one. You see, I'm completely out of tune. That means the melody is being played on another key of duduk, and if I try to do the same melody on the A duduk, I will have to use a lot of half tones. Yeah, the drone is on A. That was definitely not the A duduk. We will take another one. That is definitely the duduk in A. The melody is being played from the 5 fingers here, which makes the drone in B. So the drone was in B. That's why it was so easy to find. Also because this is the most comfortable position, you know. Like we are always trying to play any melody from the most comfortable position. Not only us, for whom duduk is just a hobby, but also the professional ones. So that was B, and duduk was in A, but some of the notes were not in tune because the scale is Oriental scale. You can hear it. So after you have already heard some tunes on duduk, so you must already hear like, okay, this is just a minor scale, just some Western scale, or some Oriental scale. And that was definitely Oriental scale, and if I play it again, I will find it. Let's take another one. The famous Over den Khan, played by Georg Dabagyan. This note is here, but like the scales, Schuster and Schur and minor scale, I have already shown it to you in the previous lessons. The most comfortable position to play them is 5 fingers here, or occasionally it could be like played from 6 fingers here, but then we are having more uncomfortable half tones, like, or even from this position, but these positions are already occasional ones, and the most common position is 5 fingers, so that was definitely not the duduk in A. Another way for you could be starting again the online tuner, like here, and then I'm starting my player, and then we can play the same melody so that the online tuner could catch key of the drone. So we will look now what it shows us if I start again, if I play again the Over den Khan. So it must catch the drone. You see, when only drone was playing, the tuner was showing C. You see, huh? The precondition for you guys to solve this problem with finding the key of duduk and the key of melody, first of all, you must know the notes. So watch the lesson about the notes and see if you really know them. At least on the duduk in A you must know it, or just the basic theory about the notes, like what means note of A, note of B, what what is the distance between them, like what is the distance between A and G. So like that you can also calculate the key if it is not the key of A. Otherwise, how you will do it? Okay, so of course I will post also a little table here, so you can see all the notes of every common key of the duduk, but you must be also able to calculate it yourself, starting as a reference point with the duduk in A, knowing the notes on the duduk in A. Not only open notes, but also half tones, where the half tones are, which note is that. Starting from the duduk in A as a reference, you can calculate what is the same position of the fingers on the duduk in G, for example. What will be this note? So between A and G, there are two half tones, according to the music theory, no? So this is A sharp, A flat, or G sharp, and then the note of G. So G is two half tones flatter than A. So what would it be if I play 5 fingers here on the duduk in G? On the duduk in A, everybody knows it's B, no? So on the duduk in G, two half tones down, two half tones flatter would be what? Would be A. So because between B and A there are also two half tones. So what is the position 3 and 2 on the duduk of B flat? If this is B on the duduk in A, no? That will be the note of C. And this is what we saw when I played this composition and we looked on the online tuner. The drone was showing, the pointer was showing on C. That means, okay, Georg Dabagyan was playing the B flat duduk from the position, 5 fingers position, which gives you the note of C. What I wanted to say, you must not only know the open notes on your duduk, but also what means flat, what means sharp, how many sharps between every note, either 1 or 2, and this you must know, of course, to be able to calculate these things. And key of the composition, we already started a little bit touching with you. First of all, we have to find what is the note of the drone, which is played, of course, in every duduk composition. The difference is some of the compositions are more simple and they are played only with one drone, like all the way through, or some of the compositions is like more harmonical, I don't know if it's the right word, but there is a harmony there, you know, so like going from one chord to another, from one drone to another. And the drone player on the stage, he plays those different drones for the solo player. Another way to find out what is the note of the drone is just to repeat it with your voice. Some hearing ability is of course needed in this case, but for me sometimes it's more easy than just to see it on the tuner while the melody is being played. For me it's easier to find the drone just hearing the melody and just repeating with my voice the note of the drone. Look. You can hear the drone, no? And I'm looking at the tuner this time. So the tuner is showing C. Even if your hearing is not perfect, still you can do it, but more or less see what is the drone behind this composition. So what does it give to us, the knowing what is the drone, the note of the drone? For this, you already also some knowledge already is required. For example, you must have heard already enough of the duduk music and understand a little bit about the scales, like the most common scales, most common Western scales, most common Oriental scales, which everything I've shown to you in the previous tutorials, and the most comfortable positions from which those scales are played on the duduk. As I already said, the most comfortable position for playing minor scales is this 3 and 2 position. If you are playing the duduk already for a while, you already know this, and nothing new I'm telling you now, but still, like the Oriental scales of Shur also played from 5 fingers, also so on to the Duduk in 8, and then Shushtar also played from here, from this position, and the Segya is always played from 4 fingers, and major scale is being played from 6 fingers or 3 fingers, A major, D major. Occasionally minors or Shushtar could be played from here, but it's just very rare, or from here, but it's also occasional. So this kind of things, like the scales, the feeling of the scales, when you listen to the melody, you after some time of listening, you already know, okay, this is the minor mood, or this is the major mood. Easy to recognize. No, major is joyful, minor is sad, and some variations of minor, or it sounds more like Oriental. Then okay, which Oriental? There are not so many scales in the Duduk, guys, which are being played often. Yeah? Listen more to the Duduk music and you will understand. Also watch my lessons about the scales. You will get the mood, like the understanding of the mood of the composition. And like this, knowing, okay, over and can being played from the note of C. What does it mean from the note of C? A Duduk is B here, no? So you look on this table, which I'm posting. And you will see so that the 5 fingers most comfortable position to play that Oriental mood, which Georg Davagan is playing in Over and Can. Over and Can is Shushtar. Yeah? This is the most comfortable position, and he plays from the note of C. Which means he plays on the Duduk B flat. You can either try to do it on the Duduk in A. I will show you how to do that. The only difference will be the melody will be the same, but it will be just flatter a little bit, half tone flatter than the Duduk in B flat. That's it. So if you take any other composition, you can also do the same. You can just pitch it up or pitch it down for your Duduk, and the melody will be the same. It's just will be a little bit sharper or a little bit flatter. That's it. Every melody can be played on the Duduk in A from the same finger position. You know, not like from some hard positions, some difficult positions. That's it. Or another option, you just buy the Duduk in B flat, like Georg Davagan is playing, so that you can be like Georg in this, which is not necessary in my opinion, but it's up to you. If you have money, just buy all of those keys and then be happy. One more point about the note of the drone, which is very important to recognize in the composition. If it is like, if there is a harmony in it, like going from one chord to another, not only just one drone. Normally the main drone of the composition is in the first phrase, behind the first phrase and behind the final phrase. So even mostly behind the final phrase, I think. If you just try to find with the voice or with the tuner, looking at the tuner, playing the melody, what is the final drone, final note, or the first, you will find the main drone of this composition, the main key of that. First of all, key of the composition, second step, key of the Duduk. You see, there is quite a lot of experience and knowledge is required here, especially if you don't know anything about music theory. It could be a little bit confusing, but for me it just came slowly, step by step, and I did not really put a lot of energy into learning this music thing. Suppose we came to know about the key of the composition and the key of the Duduk it is played on, and it is not a Duduk in A, but I only have the Duduk in A. I cannot repeat it with a lot of half tones here, just making some playing some uncomfortable notes. What do I do? And for this I also have a nice solution for you guys. It's an application which I use a lot, almost #1 application for me after the drones application. It is called Amazing Slowdowner, and I have it on my Android phone. Before I had it on my iPhone. I do also have it on my PC. It means it could be everywhere. It just costs a bit of money, but then you will never regret it. It's a beautiful thing, a very simple application where you can pitch up and down every musical file. Like if you see, okay, this composition is in played on B flat Duduk, and I only have A. I just pitch it down half tone, and then I can hear it even already in that key of the Duduk from the application, and then I can repeat it learning on my Duduk and A. In this application, I can also cut this composition in little pieces and then slow the piece down and then loop the piece, so I can comfortably chase after every note and repeat every note, and as soon as I learned one little piece in a slow motion mode, I move to the next one, and like this I can learn the whole composition in the pitch I do have currently. And this will be my next lesson for you. I will show how I operate this application, and you guys can do the same. Not like waiting for the next lesson, but just taking any melody, maybe not a complicated one, but already like taking any melody, importing it into that application, cutting into pieces, slowing them down, looping them, and repeating after them after this. Finally learn the melody completely. See you again. Bye.